about a half hour ago. Today was a rough day, but I'll talk about that once people come in here. Right now, though, hello and welcome. Thank you for being a part of the replay crew, or if you came later in the live and then you rewatched it. And so I appreciate that. Going to do the intro, give YouTube time to notify people. Hello again. I meant to turn that light off. Hello again and welcome. My name is Dion. This is the Crazy Troll Nation of YouTube. Girl, why you call it that? I call it that because it's a crazy concept. Knowing you can be your authentic self in a world where people will tell you who and how you should be. The troll part is not caring too much about the beauty community standards. You set the standard for yourself. Try not to feel like, hey Janet, you need to use a certain tool, a certain product, or a certain technique. Use whatever you want to, however you want to get your makeup on in a way, I feel like I said that slurred, to get your makeup on in a way. Hey Alexandra. Hey Sonia. Hi Tanya. Hey Alexandra. I just said you twice. Because you set the standard for yourself. So wear whatever you want, however you want, and just rock it with confidence. So that's the motto of the Crazy Troll Nation. Here we accept our natural features. We enhance them if we want to. Hey Lock, when we want to, but never because we feel like we have to. Love yourself for who you are and for how you look, even when you're not wearing face paint. Thank you for the hearts. So, two things to know about me if you are new here. Sometimes I curse because sometimes I curse. And there's an organism that lives in my throat that randomly hiccups, gurgles, and belches. Hey, Janessa. I try to be aware of it to say excuse me, but sometimes they do get past me. So that's the motto. That's me. Y'all, I have a funny story to tell, and a not so funny story to tell. Y'all know my lips is dry. I had my alarm set for 7:30 because I had two appointments at the VA hospital today. City Beauty, you already know. Um, the first one, 1 o'clock. So I got up at like 11 o'clock, and y'all know sometimes I don't even go to sleep until 11 o'clock. So anytime I got to set my alarm and go somewhere, it's gonna be a long day. And so my first appointment was a therapy appointment, and the one after that was my Botox treatment for migraine treatment and prevention and my TMJ issues. And so this is one of the blood spots from the needles. And so if you just see, some of them do blend in with my freckles, but if you do just happen to see like a red spot, it's because of the Botox. Um, and it always wipes me out. When I come home, I always just like crash out for a few hours. And so I had my alarm set for 7. It went off at 7. I reset it for 7:30. Um, and then y'all already know I have it set for 7:45 and then for 7:58. So I just woke up like a half hour ago. And I said that's the kind of whatever kind of story. But the not so good story. Makeup is one of my hobbies. Barbara, how are you today? Um, Yesterday somebody gave me some food, and if you have food sensitivities, you can tell like the first bite or two, like, okay, something ain't right. And so I took a couple bites before I went back to bed, right, just to taste it, and then I put it in the microwave because I knew I was going to eat it for dinner. And the first two bites I took, I was just like, mm. My stomach was like, girl, what you doing? And I was like, hey Karen, were you here before? Oh, if you remember that, woo, I don't even remember that. But anyway, so let me start some of my skincare. And so when I sport, oh yeah, this is the serum. I'm supposed to put more of this. I was thinking this was the eye cream, and it ain't even in the same bottle as the eye cream. Um, so when I got up later, when I woke up to get up, I was like, let me heat it up, and I ate it. And while I was eating it, my stomach was like, what you doing? Thank you, Janessa. And then not long after, I started feeling nauseous. But I already knew because I could taste that it was something in there that my system didn't like. But it was so good though. And while I was eating it, I kept saying, I hope it's not too bad. Because I already knew, right? So it was my fault. Like 100%. Because I knew the first couple bites, like, my stomach was like, what you doing, girl? And so all day today, I have not had any solid food today. This was last night when I ate that. And coming home from the very hospital, well, I took both house ferns with me. And y'all know what that is. Y'all know it's going to help push stuff down or whatever. And so I picked up ginger ale on the way home. This is 12 ounces in here, or 13. I drank one of these earlier, and I'm going to drink this one. And I've been drinking water off and on. I have had no food today, no solid food today. Um, yeah, so I don't feel nauseous. I don't feel sick. But there were a few times when I hiccuped randomly at the hospital. I was just like, okay, wait a minute. But again, my fault because I knew and I ate it anyway. So the funny story, y'all. Remember I told y'all in a live, I believe it was a live stream, when I told y'all before about the lady, the receptionist, the worker, and I said how she has like deeply rich melanated skin and she always just wear like white eyeliner and always tell her how pretty it is when I see her and she's like, oh, thank you. And I'm like, you're welcome. Well, she was there today and so I said to her, I said, I need to tell you something. And she was like, oh, what? I said, I talked about you in one of my YouTube videos. And she was like, really? You do YouTube? I was like, yeah. And she was like, what'd you say? So I told her everything I told y'all, like how her skin is dark, it's melanated, her skin is beautiful, and she wears the white eyeliner. And she was just like, you remember Janet? And she was just like, oh, wow. And so that was really cool. So we talked for a few minutes because we had never really had conversation other than, because at the VA hospital, when you check in, they ask you for your last name because they're going for your last letter. The first, I'm still sleepy, the first letter of your last name and the last four of your social. That's how they look you up in the system. So that's all the conversation we've ever had was Laura and then the last four of my social. But so I told her today, she was cracking up. Cause y'all know I be telling people what I talk about them, so it was funny. Oh, she outing herself. I wasn't gonna say. She just put I'm here, but so she said, "Oh, what's your YouTube channel? I'm gonna watch you." And she said she was gonna come tonight. When I said I do a live Monday and Thursday 8 p.m. I saw her pick up a pen and write it down. And I wasn't gonna say who she was, but the one that just put I'm here, that's who it is. And I just thought that was so funny because I was like, yeah, I talked about you on my video in my live stream, and you saw somebody put they remember you. Yeah, Mm-hmm. And she had on that white eyeliner again today. I was like, wow, it is just so beautiful. And I remember saying how, like, I like to do all the things, right, when I do my makeup. And then I said, that's to remind me and a story for y'all. This is the beauty bio patches that you don't need to do all the things. Like, it just, I'm just like, wow, that is so pretty. But, so that's my funny story for today. And I'm glad I had that conversation with her because after that was my Botox treatment, which is very intense. Very intense. You're welcome. Oh my gosh, Tanya says, hi, VA lady. She has her name on there, Sonia Smile. We have heard about that white liner. Do you have a channel, says Tanya. Yo, it is just so pretty. It just like pops, and I'm just like, and I told you I don't want to be staring at her, but I just look and be like, wow, your eyeliner is pretty, and then I just go about my business. But yeah, so she's here tonight, and that's my funny story from the day. Our live stream today is my roundup for last month, and y'all know I used all lethal, except I didn't use all lethal because we did a look with the Yucca palette because I was trying to really talk myself out of yeah, she says no, she doesn't have a channel, Tanya. We did the Yucca palette because I was trying to do a look that I thought I can get with the Gloom palette. So we're going to put this away. We know that's top tier. And we also used Grunge Life. I forget what we used it for. I think we want to see that pop, sister Tanya. And I don't think we used Grunge Life. I think it was one of the ones I pulled out to say and to show that it has a similar color story, not completely, but as the Gloom palette. Y'all know I'm waiting for the MIDI to come out, right? So I'm gonna put this away because we didn't use this. But when I was looking at the thumbnail, I saw that we used Rose from the Dead, and I think, and also Jade Dreams, and I think that it was a request, like a video, like a look that one of you requested, probably Janessa, because there was something with a green in it. Or did I use this for something else? I don't even know, y'all. But we did use these two. Y'all know these are top tier. Because this is not an all green palette. And the shades in here, they just show up. And this is Rose from the Dead. I remember we tapped this one over top of a lipstick. That I do remember, because y'all know I be forgetting stuff. Dion does white liner sometimes. I've never tried it myself. But on my complexion, though, it's just like whatever. What pops on me is like the bright yellow, something like that. But to be brown skin, I think she might be a little deeper than you, Tanya. So to be actually brown skin and you just see that white liner, it's just like, whoa. I like white liner, but if I don't have on full makeup, it looks off. And she doesn't look like she has on any of the makeup, y'all. Her skin is just like, oh my gosh. And so, so we use these two. These two are top tier, y'all already know. But yeah, I was just like, oh my gosh, like it just pops, and it reminds me that it's not necessary to do all the things, but y'all know I like to do all the things. And I do like a popping liner, y'all do know that. That's how I punk out a look, by putting on like a bright eyeliner. So we're gonna put these two away. And so while we're here, let me pull out my Lethal BYOPs. I had a thought, y'all, today. My Vampire White, though, says Alexandria. Speaking of, I was going to say I've only seen like one white person that was white that works at Sephora. And that's what you just reminded me of, Alexandra. I have Reddit notifications pops up on my phone. I just grabbed all of these, and that's Chansey, because how easy is this to drop this, picking this up like this, right? Surprising that I didn't. And this is my other Lethal. So we're going to go through these today. Youthphoria in the Ulta subreddit posted their apologies, yada, yada, yada. They're shutting down. I was like, oh, I said, didn't I just talk about them not too long ago? I'm tilting this, y'all, because I don't have a bra on. Hey, Dawn. I was like, in the comments, some of the comments, and I don't do a lot of Reddit because the comments sometimes I just be like, you know what, just get a life, like just stop. But the comments, some of them was funny. Somebody's like, oh, they're still around. Somebody else was like, they put a picture of what people think Jesus looked like with nail polish on, and in the picture, he was like this in the picture, and the caption said, nail polish Jesus. I was like, y'all know what? Youthphoria shut down. Dawn. It was in the Ulta subreddit today. And I was saying, people were like, oh, they were still around? Other people were like, oh, that took longer than I thought or whatever. But I was just like, oh, okay, y'all, this is what we doing. And so I had an idea for like a long live stream. Not intentionally long, because we never do intentionally long, but they are long. So here's a question for all of you. Should I do not today, but should we do a swatch party? Don't coming for the crown. Should we do a swatch party of all my Lethal shadows? And it wouldn't be all of my Lethal, because I do have some dupes in some of these palettes. There may be like 4 shades that I have like 2 of them of. So that's the question for all of y'all. Should I do a swatch party of all of my Lethal palettes? And well, my BYOPs, because I do still have that I keep forgetting. So I keep wondering, like, should I just get rid of it? Because if I keep forgetting I have it, that means I'm not checking for it. It means I'm not using it. Why is it here? And that was the Spellcast Beauty that we put in. No, it was Midnight Serenade that we put in some of. Let me just grab it. You wouldn't mind the swatch party, because this will be a lot. And I had that thought when I was waking up. Sometimes when I'm half asleep, I have really good ideas, and other times I'm like, girl. Midnight Serenade. And there are 4, something cracked. 4, let me see, 1, 2, 3. 3 shades in here from that other one that to me was just like, it wasn't working. And that's this one. I could tell because how the pen is crooked, because they're glued in, so I had to, you know. So this one, and this one are from this, I think it was a Spellcast Beauty palette. This sold super quick on when I put it in Macari. But I keep forgetting this here, and when I look at it though, like, this is really pretty. So I'm like, girl, get rid of it. Why? But then I'm like, I have forgot that I had it. And even though we've been going through all of our Lethal BYOPs for like a month, I still have not thought about this palette. And then one day I'm like, oh, I do have one of their palettes. And so I'm torn on whether to get rid of it or not. And that's what happens when I start, like, I don't want to say overthinking, but because I forgot I had it. And there's been a couple other palettes I was thinking, like, what I miss. And I remember saying, using Lethal for this past 3-4 weeks, I have not missed using any of my other palettes. Some I know I would never get rid of. I'm not getting rid of my Natasha's, the ones that I still have that I didn't get rid of yet. And the MAC Pride palette, that is going nowhere. My Notoriously Morbid, it's not going anywhere, but as they die, I'll just let them go. You know what I mean? But I'm just like, I could get rid of these. I did skincare in this because I was telling myself I'm gonna put on foundation, but I don't know. Has it been 10 minutes? I don't know. If you have doubts, you better keep it. That's a good point, except, excuse me if you heard that in my throat, except sometimes I end up getting rid of it anyway. I thought it was a new person. I was going to say, hey, fashion. I saw the whole name. Like, that's Grace. Hey, Grace, how you doing? Because sometimes I do think to give stuff away, and then I just let it sit until I'm. And you're right. I do agree with you. Because sometimes I'll think to get rid of something, and then I'll be like, no, let me just keep it. And then one day comes, and it's like, girl, just get rid of it. And there's like no question, no hesitation. And so, yeah, I'll hold on to that. So we're just going to look at these today, unless y'all want the swatch party today. But this is a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 pan BYOPs. And this is a 6 pan, but it has only 5 shadows in there. If y'all want the swatch party today, we'll do the swatch party today. Or we'll just do another day. Lock, were you here that time when I was talking about the lady at the VA hospital with rich brown melanated skin and wore white eyeliner? If you remember that, when I talked about that, that's who Sonia is. She was like, oh, I'm gonna come on and watch you tonight. I was like, okay, girl. But that was so cool, though. That is so cool. She's so cool. And I've been going to that VA hospital since. My favorites from each palette, all of them is my favorites from each palette. Like, seriously, Alexandra. Like, I'm not choosing between my children. And so y'all do know all of them are top tier, but I cannot. I cannot. Let me go ahead and take these off. I really thought I was going to still put on foundation, but y'all, these do work because it does brighten. So we're just going to look at them. I wasn't, but I watched the replay. Okay, yeah, that's who Sonya is. Hey, Michelle. Yo, Michelle, they did you dirty. Check this out, Michelle. This one time, one of my prescription medications I have to sign for. All right, and the main post office driver lady, I don't know her name, and I should. She's really sweet. She told me one time, because she knows my name, and I've been here since 2012. And she's been doing our route, I think. Yes, like, she says, Sonia be looking fabulous and influencing from a distance. Michelle said, the way we choose between my children. Michelle, did you for real in your other video say you want 7 more? Because I actually rewound it, and I'm just like, did she really say that? Because I didn't know how to comment that and not sound like I was being snarky. But I was really like, did she say 7 more? Like, that'd be 11 kids. So, they knock on your door, and then you have to sign the paper and all this and that. And she said, we're a good crew, soldier. I'm like, for real, we are awesome trolls. There are some not so good trolls, but we're the awesome trolls. So she told me, just sign it and I'll keep it in my truck, and then that way I'll just put it in your mailbox. And I'm like, cool. And so she's been on this route for like a good 5 years at least. And a couple months ago, and because also I have to sign for it, I have to request the renewal every month versus other meds. I can just, write into my primary care physician and say, can you renew it and have it mailed to me? But that one, I have to message in every single time. I'm not able to do renewals, like just manually. And this one time I go to my mailbox to check my mail, and it was, the paper was in my box. And oh my gosh, Michelle, for real. I mean, I'm sorry. But you make me feel great about never wanting kids, because you have enough of both of us. I was listening, and I rewound it. I'm like, wait, what? That is great, though. Like, some people that they, that's their heart's desire. I think that is really cool, and I do think you're a wonderful mom. Like, I seriously do. This is the eye brightening cream from City Beauty. And I went to my mailbox to check, just for regular mail. I check my box like twice a week maybe. And there was a note in my mailbox that said, well, they had the paper, and then on it, they checked the box saying, person not available to sign, and I forget what the other one they checked was. And I'm like, these lazy motherfuckers. I'm like, who's going to camp out at the cluster box waiting for their mail to come when they don't know it's coming to sign for it? So I'm like, that was just some stupid shit. So it sent me around in circles because I had to go down to the post office, not the Wilmington one, that's the distribution center, but the other one. And they are so slow in there. And I had ran out of that medication like the night before. So I'm just like, these motherfuckers, they just, and I live on the 3rd floor. So I'm like, they just didn't want to walk up the steps. Hey, Maria, how you doing? And so that's why I had said, this is the NY11. And that's why I said it was just a lazy driver. They just didn't want to make that extra delivery. But I was pissed. And I said to the lady, I said, you see what they checked? She said, yeah, you weren't home to sign it. I said, this was in my mailbox. Nobody ever came and knocked on my door. And she was like, oh, I'll go look for it. I'll be right back. Like, it wasn't nothing she could say. And so I knew that that wasn't my regular mail person. And so I asked, I said, where's so-and-so? And I didn't know her name, so I described her. And they were like, oh, she's been on vacation. I'm like, oh, okay, that's what happened. Because she wasn't here. But I was like, these motherfuckers. And that's a shame, Michelle, because I know you've been waiting for it. And I heard you say in a couple of your videos, you're like, I'm getting something in. And I'm like, I know what it is. This double bag, y'all. It's like, damn. So... So this is, oh, listen, if y'all have a YouTube channel, put your link in the description box so that way we can be sure to support each other. And I just thought of that, seeing Maria here. She does videos. Her videos are very soothing. She's not loud and obnoxious like I am. And we know Janessa. I think the rest of us know who else in here that does videos. Janessa does, Michelle does, Locke does. Tanya trying to come back. She been posting a little bit here or there now. And of course we know Grace does. And she signed in now on her fashion channel. So if y'all are into fashion, make sure y'all check her out. I think that's it. I'm going through the chat, making sure I didn't forget anybody. And I don't think I forgot anybody. And Sonia does not have a channel. Yeah, I think that's everybody. So make sure y'all check out Maria's channel, Night Star Beauty. What time is it where you are, Maria? Because she's not in the United States. So this one is, and I always say this every time I use one of my Lethal BYOPs. My members helped me name my palettes because they had no names because, you know, I put them together. And so this one is Spare Squares because these are the random shadows that didn't fit in my BYOPs, the 12 pans. And I did a look with just this, and y'all did this, and I'm just, Lethal amazes me. Look at this shift in here. It's the basic brown green shift that we all know and love. And for me, Lethal just works with itself and other stuff. Like this is so pretty. But this was a nice look. I think it was one of my, I don't know what it was. I know Janessa, tell her, Dawn needs to have a channel. So Maria, Night Star Beauty says 12:22. Oh, it's 12:22 p.m. over there. Wait a minute, damn. And it's like almost 8:30 p.m. on the East Coast here in the United States. So you're a whole day ahead. Wow. That always amazes me how we can be here at the same time, but we're in different places at different times. That just always, I'm just always, it's kind of trippy. And y'all know I be tripping a lot anyway, so it doesn't take me much. But these were just random shades, and it made a cohesive little palette. I'm just Lethal, y'all. I have another palette where, y'all, my mouth feel dry. I'm like, she's in New Zealand. Okay. Why is my mouth dry? Excuse me. One of my palettes, I forget which one, but I know it when I see it. Lethal was having a sale. They had stuff on clearance. And so I just peeked at it, and it was like a whole page of clearance, like single shadows. And I was just like, so what I did was, I took all my BYOBs, and I put them on my desk, and I opened them all. And I put the papers where I can see what the names of them are, because y'all know I'm a label hoe. All of them has a paper like this with the names of them on there. And when I opened it, when the PAO is, which is 24 months for Lethal, which I think is freaking awesome. You asking Maria to tell you what the Mega Millions number for the state of Michigan? Tanya, you smoking? What? You, what? Oh, I get it. I get it. Because since she's in the future for us, if the news showed her what the number was, then you'll play the number. Okay, I got it. I got it. I got it. I was just like, y'all know I'm a little slow sometimes. I get it. So since she's future for us, it's like, yeah, what's the winning number? Hell, we'll all play it. Shit. Y'all was just like, oh, what's she talking about? I thought I saw Jerome Cousin over there. um, and so I opened up all the palettes and all my name papers. This one is what they titled it Anxiety. And what they did was they gave me suggestions for names, and then in the live stream, everybody was able to vote for the name, but it had to be one of the names for the palettes that the members chose. And so this is the paper for that one. But so I laid out the palettes, and for each one I put, I had them all propped up like this, all of these. I forget how many already, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 of them. And I would look at the shadow on clearance, and like if it said house party, I would look at all the papers. Oh, I don't have that one, add to cart. Look at the next shade, look at all the papers, don't have that one, add that to cart. That's how I made that palette. And when I got the shadows in, y'all, so I ordered 12 because 12-pan palette, right? I laid them all out on my kitchen counter, and it made a cohesive palette. And I'm like, how the fuck do these single shadows make a cohesive palette? I was like, what? And I only got them because they was on clearance and I didn't have them already. That's the only reason I got them, and I'm so glad that I did. So this one is Anxiety. This one, let me see what the other shadow was, because I know I think I have Dark Matter twice. And I know I have Biome twice. I do have this one twice. Excuse me for that glare. And so, yeah, and I was just like, wow, like this looks like something you would actually just buy. So this is called Anxiety because of this shade right here. And look at the shift in here. And I love dark shadows, y'all know this. I love black-based multi-chromes and dual-chromes. This one right here. So it's a little deeper than the other one, the green and the red. But this, I wasn't ready, y'all. I used my Hourglass number 3 brush, which y'all know is a wide brush. I swiped it and I was like, oh, because it was dark and it was bold, and because I used this wide brush, it was just like I couldn't get away from it. Like I was like, how am I going to fix this? And so after that, I was nervous, anxious about using that shade, and so that's why one of the members was like, that palette is Anxiety, and I'm like, you know what? That's perfect, because this shade right here, I was just like. But since I've used it since then a few times, and I'm over it. So like now I'm not anxious about it anymore. Anxious. I don't know why I'm stuttering. And this one has a nice shift too. So y'all see how that bold red is, and then it turns like this copper fire color. When I look this way, it looks like a dirty martini yellow green, and y'all see how it looks where you are. And then this is how it looks. And so yeah, this is what I see when I look over. These two, and I put them side by side, and they blended into each other quite nicely, because this way you see how they both have like that reddish orange tint. But when I turned, it was just like, oh man, no, I purchased these from the Lethal website. Grace has you buying. It is not Grace's fault, Tony, because you a shopaholic. Tell the truth and shame the devil. Nobody got you shopping but you. I be seeing your posts and your videos. Don't blame that on Grace. Grace ain't had nothing to do with that at all. Hashtag Tanya tried it. Yeah, I'm glad you took some with you, Janessa. But did it rekindle your love for them? Because I would always say, like, I don't use my Lethal enough and I love them. So I'm glad I did this series, my color combination series, because then I can say, color combination and just pick a combination, because I didn't want to just title everything Lethal Cosmetics, BYOP. And I'm like, girl, you done did that video 10 times. But I am so glad that I did this color combination series, because I'm just like, oh my gosh. And I have not missed using other stuff. I have not, like, not at all. And then I'm like, so what does that mean? Get rid of everything else? Hell no. I ain't getting rid of nothing else. But, yeah, Tanya funny with that. Oh, ordering it from the LYS site? Now, that'd be new, because you be on QVC. Tanya, I know, we know you. You be on QVC, you be on eBay. You be buying from the Ipsy shop. Oh, that's what that was, Michelle. You were asking Tanya if she got it from the Ipsy shop. Oh, okay. Got it. Oh, or me, because Tanya says that was me. I don't know now. But, yeah, did y'all hear the confusion in my voice? Yeah, because I'll be like, But so this is anxiety. All right, so quite a few of y'all said swatch party. So I'm not going to talk too much about the shades. But this has a nice shift to it. And I see the shift in person. I can see the little colors in there, and it's just showing up white on your end. But y'all, all of my lethals, I refuse to choose. This is my newer transmutation, because it was out of stock for a long time. And this is my newer nocturnal. This was out of stock for a long time. And I did have these in other palettes. And so I know for sure I have these two in other palettes. But I didn't care, because I'm like, I want them in here with this. And so that's why those are here. And this one is Dark Matter. This one is Event Horizon. And, oh, snap. This has a flip. Because over here, I see a dark blue. And where y'all looking, it looks green. This is kind of what I'm seeing in person. It looks dark blue looking over here now, but where you are, it's still looking greenish. And then I'd be forgetting. And so even when I was doing some of the, I'm trying to see if you'll see the flip. Nah, I think this is the best I'm going to get it for y'all to see it. But, and that's something that, this never works for me, how people put up a mirror and you can see the shift. That never works for me. Oh, I think I see the blue down here now. I forgot what I was going to say. I don't know what I was going to say. Oh, when I was doing some of the looks. Hey, Kimberly, how are you? Yeah, we're going through all of my lethal BYOPs. I love me some lethal shadows. And so even picking, okay, this is the color combination we're doing, I would be like, okay, we're going to use this green, and then it has that flip. And I'm like, oh. But it still always works. It always works with whatever look I'm doing. They just work. The only person that I know off the top of my head that has a code is Teresa is dead, and her code is garbage. Excuse me if you heard that. I think I don't know if it's 10% or 15%. And I do remember her saying she doesn't get commission off of it. So I don't know if it's credit or not, because Notoriously Morbid, I don't get cash payout. You're welcome, Kimberly. But I do get commission. So she didn't like specify, but she did say she doesn't get any money for that. So it might be like with me with Nomad, like that's not affiliated. I don't get anything. I don't get credit money, nothing. But that's okay though, because I am not entitled to it. This is Velvet Dusk. The Velvet Dust palette, I don't know why I put it in here. So this one was already named. I don't know why I put these shades in here. And I have a look to do. One with Lethal and one with Circle Loco. Because I think they'll look the same. Excuse me. And so this is what that looks like. I don't know why. And I even cut the box, not the box. I cut the box apart, the sleeve apart, because it has the shade names on there. So that way, like, I don't need to do my labels. And I have this one here, but these are not, are these the shades that's in here? Yeah, so I wrote this look down to do as well. And this is just on here just randomly, because I don't even know if those are these shades or not. So this is the Velvet Dust palette. And this one, you see the flip in there. Over here, this looks copper. Is that how you guys are seeing it? Because sometimes I see this, and then sometimes I see orange. Y'all know I'm not good at describing colors. Post-it notes and labels, because it's my OCD. I don't wish it on nobody. I diagnosed myself with OCD mild, because sometimes I can control it, and then other times I'm doing stuff, and then when I realize what I'm doing, I'm like, girl, just stop. It's worse when I'm sleepy, and I don't know why. And I do get more detail oriented when I'm tired or when I'm sleepy, and I don't know why. I like the NY11. The NY10, it does oxidize though, but so this is it when it dries down. Because this does actually look like my regular color. Because when some people say they only wear concealer, and I'm just like, how you do that? Because the the Y10, I have to put something over because it just looks, it's not my color. But this one, I really like. Yeah, I forgot what I was saying, but this is, I just love all of these. I don't know why I put them in this palette though. Like, I just don't. Because Velvet Dust came in its own palette. I know what I was saying. Almost all of their pre-made palettes. Oh, Michelle. Okay. Because you're a member, so I'm going to do it. The turquoise one. Turquoise is blue, right? So this looks darker in person. And this shade is called Inertia. And the majority of their pre-made palettes I don't like. But being able to do this, to build your own. And what I love is that if you click on a shadow, it'll show you swatches, and it'll be like on an arm, and they'll do one of these so that you can see the flip to it. And their description is to me 100% accurate. Where some brands, you see a shadow, and it ain't nothing like what it looked like in a pan or how they describe it. But they are spot on with their descriptions. And so this is Inertia. It doesn't look turquoise in person, but then y'all know I'm horrible at describing colors. So where you want it, Michelle? Forehead, nose, chin. I don't know what is wrong with me. I don't think I'm gonna get any work done today because I feel like I'm just gonna lay back down. And I was trying to think of what to eat, but then I'm like, I don't really want to eat. Like, I don't even feel hungry, but I know I need to eat. I do have a salad I need to eat. Yeah, where do you want it, Michelle? Where you want it, baby? Y'all, did y'all catch that she was serious? That right on the nose, that she wants 7 more kids? She said it in a video, and I rewound it because I was just like, wait, what? I was like, damn. Just go for 8 more and have a full dozen. Like, why 11? So this is Inertia, and she said on the nose. Y'all know I love painting my nose. And y'all want to hear something funny? When I worked that event in May doing makeup, this little dude walks up. And I say little because I'm 5'7.5", and he was maybe 8 is enough. No, she wants 7 more, and she has 4, so that would be 11. This is a cool tone shade. I don't know why I never realized that before. Why am I really acting like I'm doing something? And he had to been maybe, I don't know, maybe 5 foot. And he was really thin too. And y'all know I'm chunky, so I'm looking at him like, I hate you, but you look fabulous. And he says, can you do a puppy nose? I said, what do that look like? And he's like, oh, just the black on the nose. And what made it funny after the fact is quite a few of my looks where I did my nose, I did it like this. And so this is what he wanted, was this. And I'm like, what's a puppy nose? Just like that person said, can I do their face like Pikachu? I said, what's Pikachu? I'm like, what is that? So that's Inertia. On my nose for Michelle. If y'all are not members, that's one of the membership perks is you get to make requests. Even if it wasn't planned for that live stream or that video. You get to make requests, and you do get to have some say in the content you physically couldn't. Aww. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Back in the day, like when I look at the printouts, because they did a family tree book. I'm like halfway cheater. I do have that in my notes to do. And for the class, we had to do our high fashion look that we had to do. Oh, you already have 4, don't need 11. I say she just go for a dozen. That's what I say. 11 is just an odd number. And how'd you come up with 11, Michelle? Yeah, just round it off. Or hell, do 13 and be a baker's dozen. Like, which I never understood that. I forgot what I was saying. Their pre-made palettes, I seldom like how they look. And when they came out with, I think it was Metamorphosis, whatever, it was something. It was mostly like a reddish tone palette, and then Evergreen was the other one. It was a greenish palette. I didn't want all those shades. Divine Trap family. I'm telling you, funny. And I didn't want like an all like reddish palette or all greenish palette. And so I looked at the shades I wanted, and I'll know it when I get to it by how it looks. And so I made a BYOP, some shades from whatever the red one was, and some shades from Evergreen. And so that's what I did. Because y'all know I like the dark base ones. And that palette, like half of them were the lighter tones. And even though they're pretty, y'all know I prefer the darker tones. But and so that's why I didn't get that one. So I'm like, heck, I can just build my own with the shades that I want. And so that's what I did. Shipping does take a few weeks unless you do expedite it, but that's like $20. I'm like, I don't need it that bad. I don't need it that bad. Oh, you had back surgery and a herniated disc. Oh, that sounds painful. And I've never wanted kids, like never. And I feel okay. I felt okay about it before, but now I'm even better because Michelle's gonna have enough. You know, name one after me. Or just nickname one of your kids D for Dion, like something. This is the rainbow palette, and y'all, oh my gosh, these are so beautiful. Look at these shades. This one is Exosphere, and I do have this in another palette. But look at that. So you see the blue, and then you see like a purple blue, and then you see purple. Y'all, and lethal shades for me, they do show up on me like how they look in a pan. Nomad is notorious for, they don't look, some of them to me don't look the same on my lid as in the pan. And I'll be like, what is it? And I'll be looking like, what? But they show up. And even though this one looks like it wouldn't because, okay, let me be awkward. Because look at my complexion, but it still shows up. And I'm just like, how that's possible? Like that's my skin color. And so usually I use that like under my brow bone or somewhere. Hey, Sons of Ray. Tried to nap but couldn't fall asleep. We're going through just showing all of my lethal BYOPs because we've been using them almost exclusively for my color combination series for like the last 3 weeks. And so this is my roundup for June. And it was only 2 palettes that we used that were not from lethal. But I thought this was white, but it's not. This is like a pale yellow. But when we do the swatch party, y'all want to be like, ooh. So shipping does take a while because they come from overseas. But I usually get it within the time frame they give you. It's usually like a week's time frame. This is rich. That is a rich shade. That's nice shade. I think I have that in another palette too. This is Scarab. I do have Scarab in another palette. I think I have Fauna in another palette. This has a nice kind of like a water type flip to it. So you see how there's some green in there, but then it's blue. I did a look with these two. I think, you know what it was? I don't know if that video aired yet. I put one of these first half lower lash line and the other on the second half lash line. Y'all, it was so pretty. And I did stuff on the lid too, of course. That is pretty. 2 boys, you stopped, didn't want to tempt fate and end up with 3 boys. I knew somebody that was trying to get a girl and he ended up with like 5 boys or something. Like you don't know. You don't know. Something bit me. See this red mark right there? But yeah, this is nice. You're coming from Europe. Lethal does have good fast shipping. Yeah, right? They really do. And I never pay for expedited because as much as I want it, I'm like, I ain't paying $20 for it. Michelle said, Sons of Ray in the house. You famous around these here parts. That's the line I got from Bait. Did y'all see Bait with Jamie Foxx? When they had put him in a jail cell and he was talking crap, and then when the dude walked back, he went under the bunk and he's like, I'm well known around these here parts. I'm like, you talking that movie? He talked so much trash in that movie. It was funny to me. This has a slight flip, but not. When I look down here, I see something different than what y'all seeing over there. But when we do the swatches, y'all gonna be like, man, this is pretty. And so this is Rainbow Orchid because that's what they said it looked like. Rainbow Orchid. And I was so glad to have them help me name them because I didn't know how to say what palette was what. I would just say, oh, the one with the purple flower on it, or oh, one of the black ones that I have. So it was really exciting to me being able to say what the names are. You got a niece, daughter. And my niece had one of her middle names. My niece has 4 names. Her first, her last name, and then 2 middle names. And my sister has surprised me, and I forgot about this story till just now, so thank you for saying that, Tanya. This was way back, because my niece now, I think she said she's 31 when she came to visit me a few weeks ago. And that's how old she was. She said 31. And so this was way back when she was an infant. I was going to rub my nose, but Michelle, my nose is itching. I can't rub it, because you told me to put that shadow on my nose. And I was leaving, so I was going out to the car, and my sister was following me. And I'm just like, why is she following me outside? And she had a book in her hand. I was always a bookworm, not her. So I'm like, one, why is she following me outside? Number two, why is she carrying this book? And so she opened the book and gave me a piece of paper. And she was like surprised. And so I read it. It was my niece's birth certificate with all of her name. And I'm like, I really don't have to have kids now because somebody has my middle name, which I don't have anymore because I changed my name back in 2020. But I was like, oh. So yeah, so one of her middle names is my middle name, was my middle name. I swear you saw that video, Dion. Which video? The movie Baked with Jamie Foxx? That was a good movie. If y'all are into Marvel, the movie Glass is on YouTube for free. And I did just watch Split again. I think it was, where was that at? I don't know if it was Tubi, Hulu. I think it might, I don't know, one of those. And so I was looking for Unbreakable because Unbreakable was the first one, Split was the second one, and Glass was the third one. And so Glass is on YouTube for free. Three boys will make you crazy, says Alexandra. Thank God for your girl. You have one E's bio and your niece daughter, says Sons of Ray. My niece has my middle name as hers and her other aunt's first name as her second middle name. Oh, wow. That's nice. Where do you put half and half on your lower lash line? Just for you, Michelle. Just for you. Members do get preferential treatment here. Split was good. Yeah, I didn't care for Glass all that much. I was like kind of like, but what I watched was, I forget what channel it is, but they do say heavy spoilers. And they talked about like how each movie tied into each other and like the little Easter eggs in each movie. And they were talking about how at the end, when Glass smiled, like even though he was locked up or whatever, he smiled because he finally realized what his purpose in life was. Because the whole movie, he's like, I know I have a purpose. Like if I'm this way, somebody has to be that way. Because you know his bones would break real easy. But and so that piqued my interest again. Where I'm like, you know what? I said I'm gonna watch it again. And I really don't. What did I do first? I think I did the green first. This I put on my lower lash line on the first half. So. Michelle, your video today, I noticed you didn't put on eyeliner. I be noticing like the little stuff. And even like, I'm gonna just do one eye. My therapist, something happened. And he said, that's an astute observation. And that's not the first time he said that to me. Something would happen. And I keep telling you, I am detail oriented, but I be trying to just control it because people be like, how you notice that? So some people just be like, yeah. So I try to just, keep it low key. But I had said something. He's like, I didn't even notice that. And it was something on his desk. You know what it was? It was a stapler that was on his desk. And it was a long stapler. And some staplers, like you slide out the inside to put the staples in it instead of like lifting up the top. And the whole piece was slid out. And it was a hand sanitizer bottle in front of it. And I was like, why your stapler look like that? He's like, what do you mean? And he looked, he was like, oh, I didn't even notice that. That was an astute observation. So that was the one from today. But there's other times he'd be like, that's an astute observation. And so something else happened, or I said something, and he said something. I said, that was an astute observation. And he's like, that is not going to die. I'm like, nope. Like, no, it's not. So these are the green and the blue. Because I do usually always, unless I forget, put pencil liner on underneath my eyeshadow. To me, it serves as a base. I was tripping on a girl that was Split's initial victim going to see him. I don't know if I remember that. The victim that went to see him? He kidnapped all of them. What do you mean? I don't know what you mean. So this is, what we put on first, the green. So this one is Scarab. I don't think that video aired. No, it's not. This is Fauna. And so I put this here. I'm hoping this is what I did and not put the blue first and then the green. I love this brush for that because of how it's shaped. And if I want to make it wider, I'll turn it sideways instead of using the tip of it. Oh, and glass. I don't even remember because when I saw it, it was years and years and years and years ago. And I started watching it last night, well, this morning, and I started getting sleepy. So I'm like, let me just go to sleep. Because I knew I had my alarm set to get up 11 o'clock today. And sometimes I'm still up at 11 o'clock. I know, y'all, I'm weird. And this one is Scarab. So then we'll take this and put this over here. And so we have the green on the first half of the lower lash line and blue on the second half of the lower lash line. Isn't that pretty? Y'all, look. Wait till I do these swatches, y'all. Y'all gonna be like, oh my gosh. And this one of these has this one has a shift, and it does have like a greenish type shift. It's like it reminds me of a watercolor. So that's how I do that. So we're gonna put this one down because we got a lot more to go, and I feel like I'm just chit-chatting. This one is my Martine Cosmetics 669 dupe palette. And you know what? These are the newer ones. This is Transmutation. And this is, damn it, Nocturnal. This is Nocturnal up here. This brown up here, and this is Transmutation. These are the newer ones, because I'm like, if I'm doing this palette new, I want at least have newer shades in there. And so those are definitely dupes. This is Fauna right here, which is this one right here. And you know, as much as I say I don't like dupes in my collection, with Lethal, I don't even care. This is Rise from the Ashes. I know I have this in another palette too. I don't even care. Look at this blue right here, y'all. This is Event Horizon. Do I have that in another palette? Y'all, it's just these shades. And so when I first put this together, thank you, Michelle, because my 669 palette was dying. And I love that palette so friggin' much. And so I sat and swatched through all of my Lethals, and these were the ones that came up closest. So that's how, this was always my 669 dupe palette, Martine Cosmetics 669 dupe palette. And so before all of the shades died in the 669, I did a series, and I'm sure it's in my Lethal BYOP playlist, which is a lot because they're all in there because they don't have any individual palette names. But it's also in my Martine Cosmetics 669 palette playlist where I did one eye top row with 669 and this top row the other eye, and the looks were similar, and I did that for each row, and the looks were similar, and I'm like, nailed it. But if they released it again, which they're not, I would still repurchase it. Because that palette to me, I was just like, oh my gosh. So this is my Martine Cosmetics 669 dupe palette. And again, I don't care that I have duplicate shades. This is from the 669 palette. Yeah, I don't know if it's backwards on your end or not. Hey, Joe. And the other side, abracadabra, bitch. That brand is so much fun. Why did they veer off into skincare? I be getting them emails. I'm like, I don't want that. Bring 669 back. But no. This one is Motley. I believe it was Janet that named this one Motley, and because she said it's just like a random thing of shadows. And I'm like, you know what, you're right. Or was it Nina? So this is Motley, and this is the one that's half evergreen and half what that reddish palette was. And I think with Metamorphosis, but I really don't remember. And so this is that palette. And so it was just like, because it didn't really have a distinct color story. Like some of them, like 669, that's what it is. Another one, the rainbow one, because it was like a rainbow type palette. So this one was just like, so she was like Motley. It was either Janet or Nina that was like, it's Motley, because it's just a collection of stuff. And I'm like, it fits. Because this really doesn't have like a specific color story to me. And this looks odd in here. It does to me, but it works. It works. And I'll say about the marbled shades, it only shows up as one shade, and it usually shows up that like as a duochrome, excuse me for that. So you don't see the different colors in it, and they really don't have a shift. It just shows up, you know, one shade, and I always forget what shade until I put it on. But we'll see when we swatch it, because I'm thinking this might, you wish you had got it before it discontinued. I love that palette, and it's sold. excuse me, it sold out on, I think it was Camera Ready Cosmetics. Because it sold out quick. And then it came back. And then it sold out again. And I'm like, but the PAO was either 24 or 36 months. So I'm like, I don't need to repurchase it. But if I would have known they were not ever going to relaunch it, I think I would have gotten a second one. Like, seriously. And I want Natasha to bring back Metropolis in those formulas. Because I don't really care for the sparkling wet effect. Because to me, it's just shine. It's not a color. So I'm like... But anyway, I was always intrigued by Martine Cosmetics. Have they released anything in a while? Lately, it's been skincare, and I think I saw something for a lipstick, but I stopped checking for them because after 669, they did Mission Triple X, and so I got that one. And I was kind of hesitant because it was like green, like 669 was dark, smoky, vampy, grungy. And so coming off of that, I'm like, I don't want this. But I got their Mission Triple X, which I did really like. And then the next one, it was a lighter one than that. And I forget what it was called. I didn't keep it long because the shades were just too light for my liking. And then they did a palette that was like diner something. And it was like the 80s diner theme colors, like pastel blues and, pinks. And I was just like, I don't want that. I'm like, give me 669 back. And then they came out with something else. And then they did the Jaws palette. It wasn't called Jaws, but it was basically a blue palette with some white shades in it. I'm like, I don't want that. So I stopped checking for them. And then they came out with mascara and then skincare. And I'm like, y'all know what? Let's get out of my inbox. But, so this is half Evergreen and half, I think, was Metamorphosis. Yeah, I was just like, how y'all... But I will say this, they're like Natasha, well, when they were doing more makeup, that every palette is its own distinct thing. And they don't tend to dupe themselves. But I'm like, but bring that back, though. And I even emailed them one time, asking, excuse me for smacking, if they were going to bring back 669. And they replied back, no, but we have other exciting palettes out. And in my mind, I'm like, I've seen them and I don't want those. It wasn't exciting to me. This one is Janessa's palette. This one is called Rainbow Sherbet. So somebody had said sherbet, and somebody said rainbow, and and Janessa put in the chat, you know what, this is the one from all the random shades I was telling y'all about. And she said, what did Ernie say to Bert when Bert asked, whatever? And I'm like, I don't know. And she put sure, Bert. I'm like, I said, you know what? It'll be Rainbow Sherbet. And that's what I put. Rainbow Shore-Bert. And so every time I look at this, I'd be like, okay, she does a Sherbet. I was always intrigued by it. Yeah, but then it depends on your vibe, because some people like the Jaws one, which wasn't called Jaws, it was just blue and white. And some people like the diner one, it was like a pastel rainbow palette. There's a lady here on YouTube, she's Caribbean descent from her accent. I forget what her channel name is, but she had that one and she loved it. And she was brown skin, so I could see where it would pop. Where for me, sometimes shadows like that just make me dusty. So I was just like, I don't know. So this is the palette. Each shade in here is a shade I didn't already have, and that's why I purchased it. I had no idea like what the palette was going to look like, but I'm like, I don't have these shades. They're on clearance. Some were like $4, some were like $6. So I bought it each one only because I didn't have it in my collection. And I don't like to call my makeup my collection, but this is definitely a lethal eyeshadow collection here. 11 BYOPs. And it's 12 shades in each palette, so that's like 132 shades, if my math is mathing right. And so when I got all, like I was saying earlier, when I received everything, I opened, all the, because it comes in a paper thing. And so I opened them all, put them out on my kitchen cabinet. And I took a picture and I posted it for the members saying, this is what they look like out. And after I put the palette together, I'll do another picture. When I put this palette together, y'all, these are all shades I purchased only because I didn't have them already. Look at this friggin' palette. I'm like, this is hella, I forgot the word I was going to say. Oh my gosh. This is hella cohesive to just be random shades that I purchased only because I didn't have them already. Like, look at, Does this or does this not look like something you would buy? Like, this is just insane. This is insane. And even though I don't like monochromatic looks, that's how I set it up. Two different ways I set it up. These are all the marbled ones. These are all the metallic ones. These are all the matte ones. But each column can be a look if you wanted to do monochromatic. And I kept looking at this when I put it together like, damn, those are just random clearance shades? What? I like the Mayhem. Was that what it was? The Mayday? Yeah, the Jaws one. And Mission Triple X. They have good stuff, and I'm glad that they were available on Beauty Bay. That's what it was. It wasn't Camera Ready Cosmetics. It was Beauty Bay. They sold out like twice. Because people were grabbing it. The first order you did was in French. Mine's, because when I saw 669, I knew I was getting it. The website was in Belgium, because that's where it's shipped from. And so I did the reverse translation thing on my computer. I didn't know what none of that stuff said. And trying to place the order, I'm like, wait a minute, like, I don't know this language. I was determined. I didn't wait for a sale. I didn't wait to see who had codes. I paid full price, and shipping was like $18. I didn't care. And the palette was almost like $70. I did not freaking care. I saw that palette, and I'm like, and I know I say makeup is not a need. Damn it, I'm a hypocrite. I needed to have that palette. I needed to have that palette. But this is just random shades that I did not already have. Purchased them because they were on clearance. And I'm like, this palette, y'all. What in the world? This is Runic, and I'm thinking this was in another palette. Yes, I remember that about their website. I do some Beauty Bay. Joe loved Mission Triple X. That was your first order in French also. You had to call your sister-in-law to figure it out. Yeah, I did the translation thing because I was like, I'm ordering this palette. Like, I don't, like, no, I'm getting this. It may have been in French, but I do remember the invoice that had Belgium on it. But it may have been in French, whatever it was. I don't know what it was. But I knew it wasn't in English. I don't know what the language is. My sister speaks 7 languages, so with her and translate, we were able to figure it out. I was determined. Full price and almost $20 shipping. I did not care. But this palette, if y'all remember the Pat McGrath Quad Nocturnal Nirvana, when looking, and I posted it on my community tab, that quad looked like this row. And a lot of y'all commented saying, wow, that's an exact dupe. I thought so too. Because Nocturnal Nirvana looked like these 4. So I did one look with Nocturnal Nirvana and one look with this one. And I didn't say what was what until afterward. Yeah, I had to use Google Translate because you couldn't find the language switcher. Yeah. And so I had people say, well, what do you think? What side is Pat? What side is lethal? Yada, 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 yada. I did not. And I wanted to, but I was able to somewhat dupe it out with other lethal stuff that I had. Because I really did want to. And I was just like, But I was able to not purchase that. I wanted to, though. Alex is from, oh, wait. She is from Venezuela, and it's common for them to speak a lot of language. You know, a lot of foreigners speak a lot of languages. It's like us here in America that only speak Ebonics and broken English. Even Caribbean people, they easily know 3-4 languages. And I'm like, are we just slow over here or what? Like, Rosa and Anzai's Country Life that I sometimes post their videos on my community tab. She's from Uganda. She moved to China and got married. And she speaks her language. She learned Mandarin, which is what they speak where she is, and she's fluent. So to talk to her, they're like, wow, like you sound like you are from here. And she speaks English, so she knows 3 languages. But she learned Mandarin because that's what they spoke. And of course, her husband spoke. You're slow. I'm slow at least. I'm just always amazed. And even like some people from England, from the UK, they speak like 3-4 languages. And I'm just like, is it just us over here? Like, yeah, we aren't that educated here in a lot of the US of A. Yeah, but she learned, and I remember one of her videos, she was saying how when she first went over there, her and him, they were using translation apps because he didn't speak her language and she didn't speak his. and they were saying they got into a lot of arguments. And my first thought was, how you arguing when y'all don't even understand what each other's saying in the first place? Like how do you what? But they were saying they had a lot of arguments, and so then one day they were like, let's just not use the apps anymore. Keep in mind, they didn't know each other's language. It was like, let's not do apps anymore. And it was a show that she used to watch that she said helped her to learn the language. Yeah, so she learned his language by whatever TV show that was, and she said what it is, but I don't remember. And just by, you know, talking to him, but I was like, damn, and now she's fluent. To hear her speak it, like, you don't know. Her mom and sister flew out to see her. I think it was her 10th year being in China. Her mother and sister finally came because it's expensive, you know what I mean? And she kept speaking Mandarin to her mom and her sister. They don't speak it. They only speak their language from over there. And so she would laugh and be like, oh, I keep speaking Mandarin to y'all. And so that's like her second nature now. Is just, I was just like, so I'm just amazed, like, wow. Yeah, so I'm not surprised that your sister speaks 7. But, Joe said I only speak, let me back that up. I only speak country twang. I'm from the country and people barely understand. My mom says I speak hillbilly. That ain't right, but it's funny though. Oh my gosh. I speak English, I speak Troll, and I speak Ebonics. I know a little teeny tiny bit of Spanish, but not enough to have like a legit conversation. I can ask you what time it is. If you tell me in Spanish, I won't know what you said. You took like 8 quarters of Spanish between high school and college. Do you think I can say any Spanish anymore? You probably know a few words. I remember like open the window, like stuff that's like irrelevant, or have a seat, stuff like that. How to ask what time it is, but that's about it. I feel like knowing more than one language is an indicator that you are smarter than me already. Alexandra says she has a southern accent. When she lived in California, people could really tell. And they speak way different than we do over here on the East Coast, too. Genesis, I know a little bit of German from high school, but not much. And I took Spanish in school, too, in high school, but yeah, so this is just random shade. So I was asking people, which eye do y'all think is Pat Nocturnal Nirvana, and which eye do you think is Lethal? Some were like, I don't know. And what I realized is these show up so friggin' bold. People thought it was Pat because it was so bold. Lethal ate Pat and spit her out. These were so bold that it made Pat look dim and dull and dusty. Like, no joke. That video is somewhere in my Pat McGrath playlist. And also in my Lethal playlist. But they were like, oh my gosh, I thought that one was Pat. Pat was looking dusty and dry next to these Lethal shades. And putting them on, they were not even dupes. Like, looking at them, they looked like they were dupes. When I put them on, these were so bold and so bright and just so punchy. Pat was like, okay, I'm going to just chill back here. I still see you, though, but I'm going to sit back here. Skinny Queen! Yes, I did miss you. Where have you been? Are you okay? Do I need to do a wellness check? I'm always so excited to see, because I still remember when your first live stream that you came to and the comment you left. I still remember that. And that's why I get so excited when I still see you. But that's this one, y'all. Just random shades. But look how freaking cohesive. This looks like you would buy this, right? Tell me I ain't right. I know I'm right. If you say I'm not, I know you lying. You been on vacation? Well, welcome back. I hope you had a good time. Yeah, but this surprised me. I'm like, how do a bunch of just random shades? Shorebird. So this is Rainbow Shorebird. This one is Candyland. And I did rearrange the actual palettes they were in. And so I didn't have another one of these for like Rainbow Shorebird, but I tried to put it where like Motley was like a darker color story. So we put that, you know, in this one I had the spots. Martine Cosmetics dark shade, so that's in the black one. So I did kind of, you know, try to do that. This one is the rainbow one, so I put it in here. And so I did swap out the palettes themselves because I'm like, yeah, make it look like, so at least when I look over there I can kind of maybe know what it is. You love how you finally came back and you did a dog shaped nose. That's Melissa's fault. And she's a member, so she get to make requests. And I ain't even asked. But it was one of the shades, I think in like the first palette I opened or the second one. She's like, can you swatch that turquoise shade? So, I did. Oh, I'm sorry. Michelle asked me to swatch the turquoise shade. Where did Melissa come from? Where did that come from? What the hell? And if you wouldn't have said anything, Michelle, I wouldn't have even noticed that I had said that. What? Ugh. And so she asked me to swatch it. And so I swatched it on here, and I said, where you want it, Michelle? And she said on my nose. And so that's why that's there. Melina. I do know Melina from Instagram. She does really nice looks, too. I don't know where Melissa came from. I might be thinking of Aspie girl Melissa, but she changed her channel. I think Melissa is still in her name somewhere, her channel name, but the first part of her channel name is something different. I always forget. I think she's in her 20s, and she does makeup more bold than I do. She does makeup as bold as Janessa does, and she's autistic, and she'll say, I like my makeup like this. If you don't like how my makeup looks, then get off of my channel. And this is who I am. And I'm just like, damn, I'll be like, get it, girl. And I wish, I found myself saying, I wish I was like that in my 20s. I didn't accept myself for who I am until I was like in my 40s. Like, seriously. And so for her to be that young, I'm like, damn. Go, girl. And she does bold makeup too, which I love. So this one is Candyland. And this is what Candyland looks like. And it's a light color story. I have to be in the mood for it. This shade right here. These two, I did them in the look. Actually, I used a lot of these in my color combination series. These two are bold. I am going to go ahead and schedule the swatch party for these. But this is UV reactive. This is UV reactive. These shades, y'all. This is Equinox. We had that in another palette too. Because I got my name card. I'm a label. Wait, that's kind of pretty. It is, right? But I do like darker color stories though. But I love Lethal Shadows. So like this is a really nice palette. I really do. So we got 3 more. Is it the blonde girl? No, she's not blonde. And she's actually, no, she's not blonde. But I think she's part Hispanic or something. And she lives in Houston, I believe. We used to chat a lot before Instagram broke up with me. And so then, of course, I was out of touch for a while because Instagram didn't make up with me until May this year. So it was May last year. So it was like a whole year, like Instagram was not talking to me. But yeah, that's where I had knew her from. That scares me because I would put on one of the reactive ones and not know it, and then I would end up looking goofy under UV lights. Oh, let me go grab something, y'all. Thank you for saying that. One of my orders came in today. Oh, that's this. I had turned my fan off because earlier I was cold and then I turned it back on. Oh, an empty box fell. One of the things I ordered was a UV light. So we're going to open this. And y'all know what? I looked on Temu first. Temu prices have been going up, up, and up. And y'all know I've been staying away from Amazon. But I went back to Amazon. And some of the prices, because Temu was always cheaper than Amazon. And now some of the prices are the same. And some of them on Temu is more. And I'm just like, what? But we know that's the tariff stuff. But I'm just like, damn it. So I got UV lights for when I do those paints. Those paints were so much fun, y'all. And I had so much fun looking at them pictures. Temu is turning into Amazon. And some of my Temu orders were shipped from Amazon. And I'm like, I'm trying to get away from them. And so this one again is Candyland. Yeah, so this one I had first is Thorn. This one I wore when I was hanging out with my little cousin, the cheerleader. Because their team colors are hot pink, black, and white. And so I had bought one of the shirts, and her mom was like, your shirt is the color of the team, whereas her shirt, even though it was supposed to be hot pink, it really wasn't. And so my shirt was the exact shade as this. And so when they were doing, because they made it to the championship round or whatever, and so I'm like, I'm gonna represent. So I put this on, and I put on a hot pink lipstick, lip gloss thing, and I had my shirt on, and my cousin was like, her mom, she was like, look at you. I said, shit, I'm representing what? And so I did wear this for that, but it wasn't no UV stuff going on. But this, Yeah. Yeah. So let's detour. And I forgot this was over there. When I got the notification it was delivered, I'm thinking it's probably at my mailbox or downstairs. But the picture showed it was outside of my door. So then I thought, what if they took it back like they did with the mannequin head thing I bought? But it was really outside my door. So what is this? Oh, and I got these are makeup removers cloths that I had said in the video. I don't know if it was a members one or not. That if I do paint on somebody, I'll give them one of these along with the Neutrogena makeup remover wipe so they can get it off. I purchased these before. I think before I had got them from Temu. They didn't come in a box. It just came in like a bag or something. So I'm just okay. Let me just keep going. And what is this? Ooh, this is a black floodlight. Because they had some you can hang on the wall, but I'm not hanging it on the wall, you know, putting nails in it and all of that stuff. So I'll just be like, now I'll give them a mirror to hold and just kind of like flash the light so they can see the different colors. But then they had a floodlight one where like you sit it somewhere, like if you go to a party or whatever, and of course plug it in, but that's okay. And the other one you plug in too. But this one is a little floodlight. And I was so confused, because y'all know I get confused. It was saying black light, but the light is actually blue. And so then I was just saying blue light, but when I looked it up, that's the spectrum. The blue light is on the black spectrum. And so just within like the photography world, they just call it black light, even though the light is blue. Because I'm like, why do they call it black light is blue? But there's a reason. So this is this one. And so I got that. Because then I can just sit on a table or something. And I think, label tape, because I was running low. Label whore gotta have her label tape. And 2 more things. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Not this one. Oh, this right here. Let me put everything back in the bag. Yes, I'm excited about the light. The event the 2 that I'm working for in October, one is Renaissance themed and the other one is Halloween themed. But I'm thinking I could still use those paints for either one of those. Even if I just do like a little design and not do the whole face like how I did my face. I'm like, that'll be really nice. That'll be really nice. And then I'll have the light for that. On Netflix, I saw a movie called Passing. And it was about, let me know if y'all have seen it. It was about this black lady. She was probably my complexion, maybe a little lighter, and she's in a lot of movies. She was sitting somewhere having lunch, and across the way, I was excited. The price was okay, because I'm just like, damn, y'all. And it was cheaper on Amazon than on Temu. But I did also get the 2 strip lights. Those were cheaper on Temu from Amazon, so I got those from there. They didn't come yet. And so like maybe like 3 tables away, there was another really light-skinned woman. And so the light-skinned woman, she was looking at, well, I'll just say the white woman and the black woman. So the white lady kept looking at the black woman, and she was like, and she walked over to her, and the black lady was like, and the white lady said, you don't remember me? And so the black lady was looking, and she went, Claire? Because she was black, and she remembered her from back in the day. And so the whole movie was Claire passing as white, and she was married to a white guy. I think it's still on Netflix. But anyway, they had the book. So when I was on Amazon, I got the book. So that's what this is. Because I didn't realize it was based on a book. But Passing, and the author is Nella Carson. And they have one that's just the book. This one has like extra stuff in it. And it said that she talks about somewhere in the book, either the beginning or the end or whatever, like stuff that was really going on during that time frame. And I'm like, I want that one. Give me the history. But so Claire was married to a white guy, and the white guy thought the black chick was white as well. And so the black lady was like, oh, who is you? She kept looking at her like, and the white lady was like, you don't remember me? And she was like, Claire? I was like, oh, snap. And so they were at this same place again, the white lady, black lady, the white lady with her white husband, and she was sitting on his lap. And he was saying, "Hey, Alicia," and he was saying, "I swear every year she gets darker." And that is true because I used to be a lot lighter when I was younger, and I heard that Redman said, well, he got his name Redman because when he was little, he was red, kind of reddish, but he was saying as he got older, he got darker. So we do tend to get darker, and most kids kind of do. You come out looking one way, and then like a year or two later, and you look another way, and then 10 years later, you look a different way. But her husband was saying, now she's sitting on his lap, this white guy, her husband lap. If you want a similar story in a memoir, check out The Black Notebooks by Tori. I'm gonna have to write that down. I'm gonna have to write that down. Where's my pen? Did I put it in the kitchen? Here's my pen. And he said, I swear every year she gets darker and darker, but I don't know. And he said, I don't care how dark she get, I'll know she was never a Negra. And I was just like, and so of course the white lady, his wife, was just laughing, and the black lady was just like looking like. And so the black lady said, "Oh, you don't like black people?" And he was like, "I don't not like black people. I hate black people." And he starts laughing, and the wife starts laughing. The one that's black, that he don't know she black, she starts laughing too. And the black chick was like, and she's looking at Claire and looking at the husband. And she had kids. They both had kids. And so Claire was asking the black lady, did they come out? And the black lady said, dark. She was like, yes, and my husband's dark. And so the black lady asked the white lady, do you have kids? And she said, yeah. And she was like, well, did they come out, light or dark? And she said that she was horrified that her kids were going to come out dark, because then he would be like, why are my kids look black? Because he really, y'all, it might still be on Netflix. If y'all can find it, watch it. And so the basis, even though I'm giving y'all a lot of spoilers, the basis of the movie was once she met the black lady, and I can't believe I don't remember her name, and she's been in quite a few movies. When you see her, you'll know who I'm talking about. As if I'm telling y'all who she is. But she started hanging out with the black chick, and she realized that she missed being around her people. And so she would go to the club with the black chick. And it wasn't a club. It was like in somebody's house, and it would just, we all come together. And y'all know how we do as black people. Come together, eat, have a little drink. Tessa Thompson, I don't know, Locke. And she would come there and go to their parties and blah, blah, blah. And she was like, I really miss it. And the food, she was like, I miss it. And I'm not going to tell you the end of the movie, but it ended sad. And I was like, damn, like, whew, okay, let me back up and write down what Janessa has said. The Black Notebook. Black Notebooks, plural. But that movie, y'all, and we know, well, some of us might not know, but in the black community, we know that there were some people who passed for white because it was more safe. You didn't worry about getting lynched or whatever. Like, is that TOIDERICOTTE? Oh, you met the writer at a conference on campus when you were in school. Oh, you have such an interesting life, Janessa. And I'm putting your name on here, Janessa request. So that way when I get it, I can be like, yeah, Janessa said to get this book. So we know, and there's been some prominent black people who passed as white and did inventions and wrote books and all of that, and they were able to do like some of the stuff they did because people thought they were white. And so some people, but yeah, it was mostly just for safety reasons. But and that's what made it fucked up, that lady, I forget her name, she's white. She started wearing her hair in an ethnic style, and so people thought, and then she passed herself as black because she was like a little bit, my complexion maybe a little lighter. She even won the NAACP award one year. She won some other black award another year, and then it came out that she was white, and it was like, wait, what? So they took the award back. I'm just like, y'all, what the hell? Because I didn't realize white people was trying to pass for black. I'm just like, when did that happen? That's what we doing now? But yeah, that was a whole controversial thing with her, and I forget what her name was. But this is the other thing I got. These look like they would have been, well, not would have been, but will be so much fun. These are temporary tattoos, and I got this with the Halloween event coming up. These you make scars. These are temporary tattoos. And I did get the some of the fake blood paints and yada 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 to do stuff on the face. But I was just like, oh man. I was just like, this will be fun. You can just put stitches on your face. Temporary tattoo stitches. And all of these are different. Ooh, what did they say? Get out, help. Something, something. It's backwards to me. Well, that's just a tattoo. But here it says, get out, help, ghost haunted. But I saw this and they went out of maybe $5 or $6. And these are different scars. I'm just like, these people better come sit in my chair for me to do their face. But yeah, so I got these because I'm like, oh, that'll be a lot of fun. And I'm going to play with the blood paints too because that looks really cool. And one of the paints, when you put it on, it's supposed to like pinch your skin or something in a certain way where it really looks like it's a scar. And I'm like, yeah, I'm buying that. And that stuff is from Mayron. Let me see here. Skinny Queen says when she was younger, you were light skinned, but over time you woke up and your skin was darker and looked in the mirror and was like, oh, who is you? Yeah, he was like, every year she get darker, but we do, because I used to be a lot lighter than this. Can y'all imagine that? I remember telling y'all way back, excuse me for smacking, when I was in middle school, they used to call me Snoopy, because I was a lot lighter and my big nose, and so they called me Snoopy. Yeah, so I'm not as light as I used to be, but... And of course, the nicknames, they call me Redbone and all that stuff, but... Tessa Thompson is the... Oh, okay, that is really her. Okay, Tessa Thompson. And I could picture her face, but I just didn't remember her name. Yeah, she was like, Claire? It was good. It was good. So just ignore everything I said and act like when you see stuff, you don't know what I'm talking about. Guys, did your comment pop up? Skinny Queen, the one when you said when you were younger? Yeah. But that movie was, I was just like, wow. And her husband, though, he's like, no, I don't not like black people. I hate them. And the black white chick was like, ha, 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 ha. And I'm just like, oh, my God. And this is who you married. I mean, yeah, he thought you were white. But to say he hates black people, and you're black, but he don't know, but still, like... And that's what made her fall in love again with the black community, because she could be herself, and of course the music, the food, the get-togethers, the dancing, all of that. And I'm gonna stop talking because Locke's gonna watch it. I was gonna say something else. You just found the book on Amazon, Janessa. Oh, okay, how much is it, Alexandra? I'm gonna put that in my cart. I wrote it down so I wouldn't remember, so I wouldn't forget, so I wouldn't remember. I wrote it down so I wouldn't remember. When I was in light skin, yeah. Who is you? Yeah, it really wasn't that long ago. It really wasn't. When I went to Ellis Island, that should be like a 5-day trip. Like have a room to sleep in because it is so much stuff to see. But one of their exhibits, like, and because I was stopping and reading like what the little papers were saying, the cards were saying, and there were a lot of black people who passed for white that did inventions. They did this, they did that, and I'm like, wow. You think it didn't go through. So it was another one besides when you looked at yourself and said, who is you? You ready for Halloween, says Alexandra. I do have a Summerween look coming up because Janessa requested a look with pumpkin orange, purple, blue, and something. I think I'm going to use the paints for that she gave me. Oh, man, Janessa. Thank you, Janessa. I appreciate that. Oh wow, 11:20. Thank you, Janessa. She is a sweetheart. She's a sweetheart. So we still got 3 more palettes. Yeah, but if y'all have Netflix, the movie called Passing, it is. I don't want to say eye-opening, because that's part of Black people's history. But it was interesting to see, and it was interesting to see how much she missed being around her people. That was the interesting part. Because you think, okay, you pretend to be somebody else, and that's what you embrace. And she did until she met Tessa. She re-met Tessa Thompson. But and the thing is, excuse me for smacking. The thing is, Black people know who black people are. So black people knew she was black, but white people didn't know that she was black. And I don't know what it is, but we know our peoples. Like we know, we can look at somebody who looks dead ass white and be like, that's a black girl, or that's a black dude. But white people don't know. And that's how it was in that movie too. Like when she went around black people, they all knew. Like they were just like, oh, who's your new friend, so and so. Like they didn't even care. But white people, they don't know. And I find that to be true, like in my real life too. Like we just know. We just know. This is my Mission Triple X inspired palette because looking at the colors from the palette that I had already gotten rid of, I think, I'm not even sure. This turned out not to be a dupe. You know, I did still have it because I called myself trying to dupe it like I did 669. But when I did one palette this eye, the other palette that eye, they did not look the same. And I'm just like, so that's why I put inspired, because it does not look like Mission Triple X. And I really thought it did, but it didn't. This is Biome that I said in another palette that I had in here. And this is Exosphere that we have in another palette that I said was in here. This is Night Long. Where are we at? This is Night Long. I think I have that in another palette. And this is Rise from the Ashes that we have in another palette. I don't care that I got dupes in lethal. I did it on purpose because I'm like, I want that shade in that palette. You will forget by the time you're okay, good. Because I was about to say something else, but I was like, let me not do that. So this is my Mission Triple X inspired. Is this a shift? This is Mycelium. I think I have this in another palette. This is a palette of dupes. But that, yeah, because you see this and now look. Oh. And this we already saw in another one. That brown, green, red shift. I don't ask people their ethnicity anymore. People get upset. I would just ask because I don't like to feel ignorant. Sometimes I ask people, where are you originally from? I won't be like, because even if they're from somewhere, that doesn't mean that's what their ethnicity is. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of Europeans who came from, you know, the Caribbean. And so their heritage and their ethnicity is Caribbean, but they were born, you know, in England somewhere. And so it can be tricky because it's like, how do you ask that question? And so I'll say, what's your heritage? I'll say something like that. What is your heritage? Or where are your ancestors from? I'll ask this some kind of way like that because sometimes you can't tell. The United States is a melting pot. So it's just people here from all over. So this is my Mission Triple X inspired palette. And I didn't realize until I started using this, trying to dupe it with the colors in there, one look this eye, one look that eye, how much all of those different greens in Mission Triple X, they all meant something. It was like 5 greens in there from Juniper. Yeah, we be from all over. Your mom's side sisterness is Norwegian and German. Your dad's side slept their way across Europe and Scandinavia. Yeah, that white dude I dated, he called himself an English mutt. Because looking at his stuff, it was just, yeah, all kinds of stuff. And there's stuff, I think like 22%, like the European, Norwegian stuff. And so 22% of me is that over there. And then other stuff. And I know there's some indigenous in me from on my dad's side. But yeah, we all mixed up. Yeah, we're all mixed up. I mean, it does sound rude if you go up to someone and say, what race are you? Yeah, it does. And so I'll say, you know, and this if I've been like having a conversation, even if I just met them, if we were just having a conversation, I would say, what's your ethnicity? Like, I'll just kind of throw that in there. But I wouldn't just go up to somebody I wasn't even, like, I wouldn't just walk up to somebody and be like, what race are you? Like, that is rude. But if we're having a conversation about other stuff, I'll be like, by the way, like, what's your ethnicity? Like, where are your ancestors from, type of thing. You don't know what you are. I did the ancestry thing, and they keep updating it because they put more stuff in. Because I know I have indigenous in me, but that doesn't show up on there. And I'm like, I know I do because on my father's side, his great-great-grandparents he had like 100% Cherokee for one of the family members, and somebody else was 100% something else. And so I know I have it in me, but they don't have that on that test. But I am like 22% something else. And so that might explain my complexion. Like, I don't know. But your one bestie says Janet is from Ghana, and he goes around telling people he's half Japanese. Is he though? Because he could be. There are some, yeah. Human race, unfortunately. Oh, lie. I mean, that's true because these days I don't even want to. I just got dizzy. These days I don't even want to tell people. Well, they know I'm from. Well, they imagine I'm from the United States, but it's just like I really because of how things are going. Part of me wishes I wasn't even from here, from the United States, because shit is just so fucked up, and I'm just and I know I said quite a few times that I wish I had a family member that lived in another country because I'd be like, hey, I'm coming to stay with you for 3 months. That's enough time for me to get on my feet, and find a place or whatever. Because if I had a family member that lived in another country, I would really leave here with no intentions of coming back, like seriously. And it's just, and somebody has said that they're still proud to be an American, even though they hate all this shit that's going on. I'm not even proud to be an American anymore. But it's like, where am I going? Like, okay, let me stop because I'm going to cry. Because I really don't want to be here. Like, this is just some shit that's been going on. Y'all know, so I don't need to talk about the news. But, the pain management doctor that did my Botox stuff today, his parents are from India. They moved here after he was born because they knew he would have more opportunity here. And he explained to me, like, your last name is based on the region that you were from, and that dictates what job you have and all of that. And he said his parents didn't want to lock him into, whatever it would have been. And so they came here, and he's an actual doctor. And I was telling him today, he said that I have any travel plans. I'm like, I'm not going nowhere because I don't know if I would get detained or whatever. And he was like, but sure. He said his parents are afraid too. And he said they are so afraid. And he said, but they're only detaining non-citizens. I said, no, they're not. I said, they're detaining citizens. They have deported some American citizens. And he was like, are you serious? I said, yeah. And he said he doesn't watch any news at all because he didn't even know. I said, no, they are detaining and deporting United States citizens. He had no idea. He was like, what, really? I was like, yeah. And if they have a tattoo, they say they're gang related. He said, oh, so it's the gang related. I said, but they don't be people that be in gangs. Just if they have a random tattoo, that's the excuse that they'll use. Like he didn't have no idea. So when I say I don't watch a lot of news, he said he watches no news, and I believe him because he was like, oh, they're deporting citizens. I'm like, yes. And I told him about how if an immigrant goes into court for their filings or whatever, and then they get issued another court date because it takes time for this to do that, and there will be ICE outside the courtrooms and arresting them. And I'm like, they're trying to do their paperwork the right way, and he didn't know none of that. He ain't know none of that. And he Indian. I'm like, you should be watching it. But he said his parents are so afraid. Yeah, obviously I didn't. Yeah, you don't walk up strangers. Yeah, I didn't think that you would, because you're a cool person. I knew you wouldn't do that. I don't trust those apps. They lied to me and said I was Asian. I'm from South Africa. Well, I don't mean to laugh because that's not funny, and that's why they keep updating the percentages and adding new stuff because, no, he's not. He just likes to joke and maybe tries to dissuade people from making assumptions. Alexander said they thought moving out of the country, but not sure where. And there's some countries now that are not welcoming Americans. So that's another thing, because it's like I might see a video today that says, oh, these are the countries that are welcoming Americans, and then 3 months from now they're not. And I forget what country it was that when your visa was time for renewal, they weren't renewing them for American citizens. So I'm just like, damn, like where the fuck now am I going to go? It's like, it's a mess. We spent the week in Ireland. It was gorgeous. I would definitely think about moving there. It is depressing, like so. Yeah, and that's why I'm like, you didn't trigger that. I'm just triggered by all the shit. It wasn't true lock at all. And right now, and I watch less than an hour of news per day, and it's usually like an MSNBC clip or a Wall Street Journal clip on YouTube. But, I might, watch 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there, 20 minutes there. But that's all I can take because when I was watching a lot of news, I was feeling agitated and angry all the time. And I'm like, I need to stop watching so much news. And so I've been feeling much better. not doing that. And so when I look up for MSNBC, I'll look for like, because they have like 6 hours ago, 3 hours ago, 1 hour ago. I'll look and see what the title is and how soon ago it was, and I'll watch that. But yeah, it's not you at all, Locke. It's just the situation. Yeah, it is embarrassing. Like, people just be making assumptions, and I don't even want to do that. And so that's why I'll be like, what is your family's heritage type thing? You're not thrilled about it here. But even as a small child, says Janet, I was taught by my parents to apologize for getting married. Oh man, really? I heard New Zealand is really pretty. It's another person on here besides Maria. That's well, of course, there's other people from on YouTube from New Zealand. I forget her name, and she's very pleasant. And she was, telling us about, how it is and this and that. And it sounded so wonderful. It sounded so wonderful. I'm close to broke. I got a lot of credit card debt, and that's my fault too. Yeah, but like, I appreciate that, but that wasn't true at all. That was just, I'm just triggered by just the bullshit. And how do people keep going along with shit? I'm just like, what are you scared of? Like, get the fuck out of here. So this is my Mission Triple X Inspired. So I realized, because I was thinking I don't need all them greens, but yeah, each of them greens in that palette, it was at least like 5, maybe 6 different shades of green and different textures. But having this, I realized that those greens meant something. And I do, and dare I say, I know I would get 669 in a heartbeat. If they came out with Mission Triple X again, I would buy that one too. I really would. This is not a dupe for that, but it is inspired by. But I thought it was going to be more like than not alike, so I was kind of surprised by that. I'm from near Canada, and I've claimed being Canadian while traveling more than once. I would do that too. Some of them don't even want us over there no more. Because I'm like, how are you going to fuck over your neighbors? Like, we share the border. I'm just like, okay. This is the Night Flower palette mixed with Teresa is Dead Lethal palette. Because she did two palettes collab with them. And right now I'm thinking, you gave Mission Triple X away years ago? Yeah, mine started acting funny. But I had it for like 3 years. Talks about how sad America is 1 millisecond later. So is this palette. I really did like that palette. And I liked the Mission Triple X more than I thought I would. Because having 669, which is all of my vibes. And then the Mission Triple X, I was like, But because I like the formula, I'm like, oh, I'll get it. And I fell in love with it. So I cut the box. This paper is from the Night Flower palette. But then when I mixed it up, I put, I'm a label hoe. How y'all doing? On here. And so this shade is from Teresa is Lethal. This shade is from Teresa is Lethal. This shade is from Teresa is Lethal. And this shade. So these 4 are from Teresa is Lethal, and all the rest are from the Night Flower palette. Because I realized I wasn't using most of the shades in her palette, and it was some shades in Night Flower I weren't using because they were just the lighter tones. And I'm like, but I love Lethal formula, and so I mixed it. So that's how this came to be, and I do like it. Lethal, y'all, it's just amazing. This looks like that Numb shade that I told you. Actually, it doesn't, because that one was like my complexion, the more tan part of my complexion, not the red part, where this one is lighter than that one. But this one is good for like just under my brow. But yeah. We got one more, y'all. I thought this was going to be a quick live stream, just showing the palettes, but y'all know we be detouring everywhere. This one they named Autumn Vibes, and so I put it in this one because it looks like autumn. And this is what Autumn Vibes looks like. Y'all, this is pretty. This is y'all, oh man. This looks green the way I'm looking at it now, but when I look where you are, it looks yellow. When we swatch them, y'all gonna be like, ooh, because it don't show the shifts when you turn it. Your skin be like 10 different shades of brown. Y'all, I'm telling you, and even my undertone, my face is like 3 different undertones. And the hair under here don't help, even though there's no hair here, but it's just this permanent shadow, my disrespectful mustache area. Because even like my face, like under my eye area is like a little olivey. Up here might be a little neutral, a little tan, a little golden. And so I didn't understand for a long time why was it so hard for me to find a foundation that matched. I'm like, damn it, I'm in the middle of the spectrum. From lightest to light to darkest to dark. I'm like, I'm in the friggin' middle. How come I don't have a match? And it's because my undertones are different. So you just pick one that looks that looks like, yeah, that's your complexion, and then that's the one I use. But I am definitely in the tan, golden, olive range, depending on what part of my face you look at. And I don't know what the hell bit me over here, but and I was so glad when I was watching one of Vanessa's master classes, and because people thought I was weird when I would say, I have like at least 3 different undertones, and they would look at me because they just automatically like, oh, you're neutral, or something like, oh, you're golden. But if I wear a golden foundation, it is too yellow. If I wear neutral, it looks too flat, and so I'm like, something ain't right. And so I was really looking at my face one day, and even down here it looks a little olivey, my chin area. But she was saying that people have more than one undertone, and I perked up like I thought I was tripping because y'all know I I'd be tripping sometime. And so she had, oh my gosh, the model was like deep, 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 deep melanated, and her skin was beautiful. And so Danessa said, call out, talking to the audience, the people that were physically there, like, what undertone do you think she is? And it was streaming on like a Zoom thing or something. And so people were like, red undertone, golden undertone, something else. And she said, all of you are right. And I felt so validated because people think you can only have one undertone. And so when I would tell people, my mix or whatever, like this is this, they would look at me like, oh, okay. So I really felt validated. I really did. When you were a kid, you thought you were cursed because you felt like that meant I had to buy 3 different foundation shades, 3 different shades of foundations. That's why I stopped wearing makeup forever, early in my makeup journey, because no joke, they would match me perfect. After like 3 months, I'm like, okay, that don't look right. Go back and match me to something different. Perfect. Another 3 months. Throughout a year, 4 different foundations. And makeup forever, their foundations back then was like $40-something. I said, I'm not spending $40-something every 3 months because and the PAO was 12 months. So I'm like, I have to throw it away. I'm like, that's too much money wasted. I'm like, fuck that. No, too much money. And that's when I found the CoverGirl. No. Cover FX G60 foundation. That was my perfect shade. And even though some parts of the year I just might need to put on a little more bronzer on the perimeter of the face or whatever. And so I'm like, this is what it's going to be. I'm like, I'm not mixing because it never mixes right, and then you're still going to have waste. Hey, Sonia. Okay, thank you for being here. Oh, wow. I appreciate you being here. Yeah, you'll see me next time. Thank you so much. And sleep well. And have a good night. And I forgot what I was saying. But I felt so validated, though. Your cover effects, I could wear it all year round. Sometimes some seasons I would just have to put on a little bit more bronzer, and mostly just around the perimeter, because this is weird as hell. I don't have on no foundation. Why the hell is my hairline so freaking dark? Like, what the hell is that? What? And so, yeah, I might have to put on more bronzer on the perimeter. Oh, a lot of people saying goodnight to you, Sonia. And so when I found the Cover FX G60, I'm like, all year round. And then I started having trouble finding it. And that's when I was matched to, I forget what I was matched to. But it was the same thing all year round. Just might have to put on bronzer, more bronzer or something like that. Or the setting powder or whatever. So much your bedtime too. Why do we have to be responsible and get up early? I don't go to sleep till y'all be, when y'all getting up, I be getting sleepy. She said, oh, yeah, so we could buy more makeup. Natural contour. Yeah. And so, but I'm like, I'm not buying a new foundation every 3 months. And when I would mix it, it still didn't look quite right. And then I would still have waste because say both of these were foundations and I'm mixing these. I might need to put a tiny bit of this one in this one, which means most of this is going in the trash. And y'all know foundations are too damn expensive. And even with Fenty, they matched me to 310. As the day went on, it oxidizes. The soft matte one oxidizes. The hydrating one doesn't oxidize, which is weird. And I did a video where I put the soft silk one on this side and the matte one on this side, the soft matte. The soft matte looked too light, but by the time it dried down, it looked exactly like the hydrating one. And I'm just like, that's interesting. But anyway, it is the same shade. The soft matte just oxidizes. So they matched me to 310. As the day went on, I looked more and more red. And I'm like, I am not red. I'm like, this is embarrassing. I'm going home. Then they matched me to the 330. As the day went on, I got more and more and more and more tan. And I'm just like, so when they came out with the half shades, 335, because I love the formula. 335, I tried it and I'm like, it was perfect. So I use this all year round. Might need to put on bronzer, might not, which I usually do anyway, but I'm like, I'm not buying 2-3 foundations a year, and they cost too much to be mixing and wasting. So this is Autumn Vibes, and that is what it looks like. Yep, so we're going to go backwards. Autumn Vibes, all of these are top tier. Y'all already know. I am ready to move on, though, only because we still have not used Neon Grunge. We still have not used Angela. Excuse me. This is Night Flower with Teresa is Lethal. All these shades, and even the shades that look similar, they're not exactly the same. Because y'all might be like, yeah, you got a lot of purples, you got a lot of greens, but they all do look different. Mission Triple X Inspired. That's that one. You know, I was gonna. That's going to. Oh, that helps to get up and go to work so you can make money to buy more makeup. I tried that color changing foundation and it turned, that stuff don't never work. And the same as the pH adjusting, like lip glosses, it looks pink on everybody. Like look this, they just making up stuff. This one is Candyland. That's that one. Yeah, some things don't work. It's just a gimmick. Rainbow Sherbet. Random shadows, y'all, just because I didn't have them. And this is cohesive as hell. I was surprised. I was like, wow. I'm like, Lethal is that girl. Like, if you can take random shades and you come up with this. This is Motley. That's that one. And Martine Cosmetics dupe, which is actually a dupe. I can't even say anything. It's just Rainbow Orchid. You looked in the mirror and thought someone was on the other side staring at you. This is a shame. So this is Rainbow Orchid. Y'all done that before too, where a foundation will look really good, but then it'll oxidize or something, and it look like I have a mask on. I'm like, what the hell is this? What is this? Velvet Dusk palette. I really don't know why it's in this palette. Like, I really don't know like why this is in here, because it was a pre-made palette. Now I don't know. And this is Anxiety, which I'm no longer anxious about. This is a pretty, I was going to say this is a pretty palette, but they're all pretty in my eyes. And this is Spare Squares. This one's pretty. Actually, they're all pretty. So those are my Lethal BYOPs. I will go ahead tonight and schedule the swatch party, which will probably be the end of the month, because I think we have 4 lives already scheduled, which is 2 weeks or 1.5 weeks, because we do 2 a week. Because that mostly definitely wasn't you. I thought about Janessa when I opened this the other day, Neon Garden from Spellcast Beauty, which is the sister brand of Notoriously Morbid, but you buy it from the Notoriously Morbid website. I do have a code down below. I thought about Janessa because this is her color story too. This looks like it would be UV reactive, but it doesn't say that it is. And this is an easy palette if you do 2 shadow looks, because there you go, there you go, there you go, there you go. But or even monochromatic, use these 2 with these 2, and then do something with these. These 2 remind me of Jade Dreams. I quite literally look like this. You know you did. So this is Jade Dreams. I thought these 2 shades made me think of Jade Dreams. Even though all of these have a flip, if I'm not mistaken. But this one definitely has a flip. It looks blue, but then it looks green. But they remind me of shades from Jade Dream, especially this way. But I want to say I'm excited to use it, but I'm still just so in love with Lethal that I'm not like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to use this palette, which is strange because y'all know I love Notoriously Morbid and Spellcast Beauty. And so we still need to do this, and maybe we'll just do like 2 looks with this. Because I'm thinking, oh, we almost at 2 hours. It told me I'm live, and it does that usually at like 1:55, an hour and 55 minutes. I'm thinking be funky and just use these for a 4 look and these for a 4 look, because that's something I think people wouldn't do. I think they would use these 2 over here and these 2 over here, and the 4 in the middle for a look. But we're going to mix it up. We need to do that. I was looking at Angela's palette the other day, and I thought of 4 looks, but when I sat down to write the looks out, I only came up with 3. And I was kind of disheartened because the more I looked at it, I was trying to force a 4th look to come to me where it didn't. And so we're going to do this like we did Untamed. The first look, we're going to do this red and these 6 over here. And the second look, this blue and these 6 over here. And that's how we did with Untamed. And then just for something very easy, very neutral for people who don't want colors, these 2 shades and these 2 right here. So that'll be something simple. But I was drawn to this because it does have some deeper tones, and they do look a little deeper and more bold in person, but it is a lot of the light tones. And this is an easy palette too. Just do this quad right here. If you want a nice punkish, funky, in a good way look, you know, these 4 right here. And, you know, this is an easy 6 shadow look, or even just a quad right here, with the green being a pop. And so, but yeah, I looked at it and I sat here and thought of 4 different looks, but when I sat to write them, only 3. Like the fourth one, I was I don't avoid orange. How did I avoid orange? I don't understand. Skinny Queen looked in the mirror and said, that's not correct. Yeah, sometimes foundations be disrespectful because they be oxidizing and changing colors. And so I felt like I was trying to think of a 4th look, like when I actually sat down to write out the looks. And so we're going to do at least 3, because y'all know we use all the shadows in the palette before I give it a rest. And I admit I'm not excited about it, but I think it's because I've been loving using lethal so much. So I'm kind of feeling ambivalent, but I know it's because I've been using lethal, and all the times I said I don't use them enough, then just to use only those for 3 looks. We're using orange. The first look is going to be this red shade and these 6. So in these 6, that's the orange. So this red, and then these 6. And then the second look, this blue and these 6 shades over here. And then these 2 and these 2 for those who like neutral, barely their looks. I didn't like Sigma back in the day. When I saw Untamed, I was intrigued because it has a grunge pocket in the middle of the palette. And I got it and I really loved it. And I liked the formula. And people did say, they're like, yeah, back in the day, the formula sucked and it did change. So then I was eyeballing other palettes from Sigma because I liked that one so much. And I got the Little Mermaid one, which was complete trash. I put it in Safari. It sold like in 6 or 7 hours. And then, so let me just pull these out. So how many do I have? 2? Why am I thinking? Oh, because Angela's mixed 3. So this was Untamed. This is the one that caught my eye. I still have not used this brush. And what got me is like this right here. That grunge pocket. And the formula is solid. There are no duds in this palette at all. So I'm like, ooh, let me see what else they got. I got that Little Mermaid. And Jennifer has it. She loves her. So I think I just got a dud. That was... I was like, And I was eyeballing warm neutrals. Jennifer ordered something, and this came as gift with purchase, and she already had it, and so she sent it to me. This is hard to work with. It looks great on my lower lash line. Putting this on the lid is a beast, and I can't friggin' stand it. Janessa's leaving. Okay, Janessa, thank you. And it was not a Thursday tonight. And something else. Oh, and this shade is hard pan. So this one, and it's very soft. You see that dip in there. So it's hard to pick up, but I can using a brush like this, get it on my lower lash line. It looks really pretty. So that's the only thing I use it for, because I don't feel like going through the hassle. And this one is hard pan. Other than that, everything else in here is good. And I do like the palette. The formula is nice. It is very neutral. All the looks did look different, but it's all the same color story. And when I saw Angela's palette, I'm like, okay, so hopefully it's no dozen Angela's palette. If it is, I will be disappointed. Because I did actually want that one. And I waited for it to go on sale, and it did, so I got it. So, but that's it for this live stream. Again, I will schedule... I'm stiff. Swatch party. That's gonna be fun, y'all. My face is gonna look awesome. All right, so thank you, y'all, for being here, going through my 11 and a half BYOPs, and we'll be back to do swatches, because y'all, them shades. I don't know how I picked it up again like that and didn't drop anything, because y'all know I be just sitting here dropping any old thing, like this box that's on the floor now. I can't show y'all. They said don't show it until launch day, which is April 8th, but I have been using it, so please don't remind us of that palette of a... About the mermaid. Yo, that shit. And Jennifer's like, hers is fine. And then she got a second one, and she's like, they're fine. I'm just like, so mine was just really a dud, because I'm just like, it ain't no way this piece of shit is good. It sold super quick. I hope they enjoy it. And I'm like, damn, I just did the video with that live stream, whatever, that night. I said, so they didn't even have time to see the video. I'm like, what if they see the video like a couple weeks after they receive it? And they're going to be like, oh, she just sold this trash. Oh, damn, Tanya. Did I say April 8th? Just like I called Michelle Melissa August 8th. Y'all be catching stuff, because I don't catch it. When I watch it back, I be catching stuff. That's when I hear myself hiccup and I don't say excuse me, or belch and I don't say excuse me. Like, I really don't even be noticing it. Yeah, August 8th. So I have been using it already, and I do actually like it, surprisingly. But yeah, good night, Jen, and we'll be chatting. So we're going to go, y'all. I think I'm still not hungry, but I'm gonna make a salad, because I know I need something besides Boathouse Farms and ginger ale in my stomach, because yeah, I did it to myself. So we're gonna go. Thank all of you, y'all. The chat was amazing. And, you know, we always go off topic, which turns out to be amazing, too, because we do talk about relevant things. But if y'all do have Netflix, do look for Passing. It was interesting. It was very interesting. It was very interesting. And I do think that y'all will enjoy watching that. Thank you, Janessa Left. I was going to thank her again for ordering and having the books sent to me. I can get rid of my note now. But, yeah, and if you want to see Glass... that's on YouTube, and I'll put it on my community tab too. And sometimes I do that if it's a movie I really like, I do post it. But so we're gonna go. Jeepers Creepers, the first one, and Jeepers Creepers 2 is also free on YouTube if y'all want to see that one. But so we're gonna go. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Replay crew, you rock. Thank you for being here. Leave your comments below on anything that we talked about. Feel free to always do that. And for all of you that are here, y'all know. Y'all my road dogs. And so we'll be back here Thursday. I don't know what we're doing. It's already scheduled. But we'll be here to do that, whatever that is. And yeah, so as always, self-acceptance, self-love. That person tried to use it. What a piece of shit. Right, and then they'll watch the video and be like, damn, like she knew. Mm-hmm. And I do feel kind of bad, like, damn, they didn't even see the video yet. And so I always put a handwritten note inside, thank you for purchasing from me, blah, 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 my YouTube channel, such and such. I ain't put nothing about my YouTube channel on there. I was like, thank you for purchasing from me. Hope you enjoy it. That shit was trash. But as always, self-acceptance, self-love. That is the Crazy Troll Nation way. Thank you, everybody. And you'll see me Thursday. Videos going up 7 a.m. in the mornings, as usual. But other than that, y'all know how we do. We'll be back here Thursday. Good night, everybody. Bye.